At Truliant, we're with you at every milestone, making it easier for you to shine. So you can saddle up each morning for more than a paycheck. Have the support to expand your horizon, the space to grow your family, and your brightest dreams never have to fade. At Truliant, we help you shine. That's brighter banking. Truliant Federal Credit Union.
Welcome to the Greater Conversations podcast. I'm Deetra Miller, the Director of Member Relations and Engagement at Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. We'll use this platform to showcase our local businesses, our community, and their stories. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show, or should I say moo? Why did I say that? Because we have got three amazing people here with us today to talk about an award-winning short film that just won Best North Carolina Filmmaker Short at the 2024 Beyond the Cary Film Festival. Congratulations, guys. This is awesome. So we have in the studio with us Peter Arsenault, who's the producer of Cal. We have Tristan Alkemper and Joe Appel, the directors of Cal. And of course, I've got my wonderful director of marketing and communications, Anthony Good, here with me today. And our wonderful producer, Tim, is also in the studio. Of course. Moo to you, sir. Moo. So that everyone else can get in on the fun. Yeah. Peter, you reached out to tell me about Cal. Let's talk about it. But before we really get into it, let's talk a little bit about you guys too. Mm-hmm. Peter, talk a little bit about your background. The only thing that I really know, I found one little fun fact about you, and I think you just have this passion for not only film, mm-hmm. but the healthcare industry too. How do those tie together?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I work for Abound Health, so I work as a paraprofessional over there. I have one sole client right now, and obviously, coincidentally, does involve film, but basically I help him create videos for clients. I help him find clients and create videos where otherwise he usually would not be able to, but yeah, I'm a licensed paraprofessional, so I help out with the health aspects of his daily life too and everything. Yeah,
I love that. I love that. All right, tell us about your background, sir.
So I'm Tristan. I go to UNCSA School of the Arts, as these other people do.
These other gentlemen. Yes.
I guess my other thing would be I did fencing for 10 years.
Really?
So I was on my path to doing cool stuff, and then I was like, let's just do film.
Film is cool.
Film is cool. I am having fun.
I thought you were going to say your path to the Olympics.
I was on the track, I like to think that I was, in a different world. I'd be an Olympic fencer.
Wow. Maybe that's your next film? Maybe something about fencing?
I can't talk about it.
Okay. Can't tell you about it. Okay. Joe, how about you?
Hi, I'm Joe. I went to high school at North Carolina State University. They have a thing there. So I studied engineering for 5 years there. Realized I don't like that and started going into film and entertainment and stuff like that, where I go to UNC School of the Arts. I went there shortly, but now I'm here with these wonderful fellas, and I like movies, I like entertainment. I wanted to be a comedian. That didn't work out. But
I think it did. For anyone that watches this short, I think they're going to see some comic genius in this film. So I'm curious to know, how did you guys actually meet?
So the first year of UNCSA, all the filmmakers are put into different sections where they have all the same classes with each other. We were all kind of in the same class, in the same section. Section 2, best section. And we kind of all hit it off. Joe and I especially, where we did other projects where we were kind of co-directing and co-starring in them. And so over the summer, when we decided to kind of co-direct this weird alien film, Peter heard that we were co-directing. He didn't at that point know anything about the project. He just came up to us and he was like, "Hey, are you guys co-directing?" We're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Got it. I want to be on that."
Nice. I love it. Who wrote the film?
So we came up with the idea for the story, but neither of us are very good at writing. So our screenwriter, which we contacted, Thomas Getze, who was also in our section first year, we reached out to him because horror and comedy is like right up his alley, and he was immediately on board. So written by Thomas Getze. Yeah.
So we are here to discuss your award-winning short film, Cow, and Deetra and I were able to preview this movie, and we found it so touching and so poignant. But for the listeners who haven't seen it, without giving any spoilers, could you just kind of explain your concept and your idea behind this very moving film? All right, who won rock, paper, scissors?
Tristan won rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Basically, our idea was it's kind of Alien flipped on its head. So instead of a bunch of people being attacked by an alien, we have this alien called Gurk. He's a puppet, and he's basically on his usual kind of livestock abduction route, where he takes cows. But this time, it's not actually a cow. It's a farmer disguised as a cow, set on his path to revenge and trying to kill this little alien.
So this is a normal day at work for Gurk has gone horribly wrong.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
We like to say it's like a UPS type job, where he has that little brown vest and everything. So
Completely mundane job interrupted by, like, in this puppet's perspective, like a horror movie type kind of event,
Yeah, we wanted to focus the story. We wanted the story itself to be as like dramatic and scary as possible, and all the comedy come through just the visuals of it being a puppet and being a guy in a little farmer's suit. Yeah.
I absolutely loved this film, and I laughed and almost cried as well, especially at the end. But the cliffhanger, like, I want more. So I'm curious to know, is there going to be a sequel to Cow?
Peter.
Looking at
I don't think that's up to us. That might be up to the school, probably. I think the school has any sort of say in what we kind of continuing with Cow and everything. But we did open. I don't know. We always kind of want to continue always working on Cow, even this little short and everything. We're always still kind of working on it to this day. But yeah, it's out of our hands for right now, I would say.
And with these two adversaries in this film, they really don't understand each other, but they both have their own motivations, and they don't know that the other one is really not truly an enemy like what they see. And I think that speaks volumes, and that's the takeaway that I got from the film. How do you guys explain what is the impact of that to the viewer and what you wanted to get across?
I love that interpretation so much. It's something that we watched while making Cow, or it might have been towards the end of it, was Arrival, which is a film about like the language barrier if like aliens were to come to Earth, even if they were peaceful. And that's just a really interesting thing, I think, that a lot of sci-fi movies and alien movies kind of overlook. There's that language barrier. So this miscommunication between Gurk and this farmer is kind of tragic, because I think if they could speak to one another, there wouldn't be any conflict in the film.
Yeah, I think approaching it, it kind of changed as we started writing the story. But our focus at the beginning especially was to humanize the alien as much as possible and dehumanize the cow. But as we kind of worked into his motivation, we started seeing that human side of him, which I'm glad we kind of tried to bring out.
I love that.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the film, after the cow is abducted and we meet Gurk for the first time, before we actually see him, we see something that's tossed up in the air. And I immediately thought, is that cow? Was that part of a cow? Like, what was that we were seeing? And if you can't give that away, if that's left to interpretation, that's fine. But
No, we can. So, a lot of our inspiration was those old cheesy 70s movies. And a lot of them, they got their budget through product placement. And so Peter, our incredible producer, reached out to a couple places. One of them was Hef's Burgers, the local downtown burger place. Talked to the owner and got us basically free kind of food for lunch. And the deal was if we did that, we would have product placement in the movie. So that's actually a Hef's wrapper. And as you look at the family photo that he kind of like strokes at the beginning, at the top we have like Hef's Burger Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I guess also adds an extra layer to it where like, Girk's abducting these cows, he's eating a burger.
Part. I wasn't sure if like the cow. Okay. You have to see the film. And for people that are listening now, how can they actually watch the film? How can they see it?
It's hard to say just because it's on its film festival run right now, so we can't put it out online or like put it out anywhere. I guess the best way to watch it would be to attend one of the film festivals that it goes to right now. Like I said, it won over at Beyond Cary Film Festival. It also screened over at the at Cleveland County Arts Council. They had a film festival over there, Reel to Reel. And then there's more. There's still going to be more film festivals coming up in North Carolina, other states that we've applied to and everything. So it'll be going around across the states and everything. So that's the best way to watch it right now.
Any chance it'll be part of River Run?
With any luck.
Yeah, we're hoping so.
I'd say if you're interested in keeping up with Cow, the best way to do so is just follow us on Instagram at cow.film, I believe is what it is, where we announce everything about Cow, little ads, little announcements based on what festivals we get into. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
And at UNC School of the Arts, you all are really immersed in learning the art and the business of becoming producers, actors, directors in this industry. Can you talk a little bit about your curriculum, your coursework, and the university and how that has not only helped you to produce this film, but just provided opportunities for what you guys are going to be working on next?
Yeah, for sure. I think this school is really unique in that it's a really incredible film school, but it's also really small. I know when we came to the school, every department, including so it's film, music, dance, all that jazz, it was less than 1,000 undergrad students. So it's a really small school. And because of that, everybody kind of knows each other. And it's kind of this help you, help me kind of system where you get really close with like the fourth years, and when they graduate, they can kind of help you get into into like Hollywood and the industry and everything. And as far as classes, you start out taking all of the different sections of film. So you take out directing and writing and producing, cinematography, other stuff. And once you kind of get that feeling for everything, you can start to choose what you really want to do. And so now that we're all third years, we have our specific disciplines. So Joe and I, we're in directing, Peter's in producing. And so now it's kind of where stuff gets real.
Yeah. Like, for example, this year as a third-year director, we kind of have to go through something called the Gauntlet, where every week we have to make a short film. And it's
Every week?
Every
Wow.
single week. And it's extremely draining, but it's a lot of fun, and it helps you kind of understand what is most important when getting your idea across in a film. Like, what should I prioritize? What story beats do I need to hit? What shots are important to me, or which ones are just kind of, aesthetically pleasing,
Can you explain to people who may not know the difference, at least at this stage, of a producer and a director? A director, I know what the difference is, but I want to hear people
for
who are
other people.
living it. I want to hear the difference.
You can kind of think of it as like there's the creative side of filmmaking and there's the more logistical side. There's definitely a mix between the two. But just to explain it as simply as possible, directors are more on the creative side. They come up, they really pay attention to the story, and they work with like the cinematographer and screenwriter to tell the most compelling story as possible. The producer is who makes it happen. They're the ones who actually understand like the budget and what's possible to make given what we actually have.
And in bigger situations, they're fronting some money too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course there's some overlap between those things.
Yeah, there's definitely overlap. And like I was going to say with the school, one thing that they do really well is that they really try to like get you as ready for like the actual like workforce that is Hollywood and everything. like as far as like for my perspective on producing is that they have you like literally doing legal documents and everything for small little short films like Cow and everything. You have to like go through all of this paperwork that seems unnecessary as a student and everything, but then as you kind of come along you realize that this is actually how films are made and everything. So that's definitely one way that they kind of like help prep you is they treat every film like an actual Hollywood film. You have to go through every like hoops and ladder to actually get it made and everything. And like I agree, like as far as like the difference between directors and producers, there's definitely some overlap here and there. But yeah, as producers, like I'm in charge of like handling the budget for the film, like knowing what money goes where, assessing like locations. Like for Cow, we filmed the whole thing in our VFX supervisor, Danny Mann's basement. So being able to find that location is kind of like my job. And then also like you said, getting the funding for it, like which is one of the big things was like trying to pitch Cow to the school to get it funded by the school is another one kind of key thing. I mean, directors are usually also involved in the pitching process as well, but the producers are kind of like in charge of designing it in some sort of way to get it greenlit.
And then coming back to the movie, another really important aspect of it for me was kind of the cinematography and what it looked like. I think we mentioned Girk is a puppet, and there's just a really strong like visual component to it. Can you explain what that looks like behind the camera, behind the scenes, and how you get it to look like that when it's in the film?
Yeah, we'll tell you. Behind the camera, the day before the shoot, none of that set was built. We got the card to buy stuff the week before, and our production designer was building props and stuff like behind the scenes. And only like the Friday before the shoot were we actually on set trying to, we're assembling these walls and stuff to kind of segment out the basement into the different rooms of the ship. And we get to set like the next morning. They've been working overnight. And there's like one room built, and then so we kind of had to film what we can in an order that we had not planned.
Yeah, it was like while we were filming in like the control room, our production design Beo was building like the hallway or something, and so it was this really kind of running gun, just get it done kind of thing. One of the issues we ran into was because we didn't have the set properly finished, our storyboards. That kind of describe the cinematography, so we can imagine it before we actually film it, weren't properly like laid out to the actual physical set. And so I remember the second day, Joe and I came in half an hour early. We sat down, realized that this one scene that we're about to film doesn't work at all with the layout we have. We reworked the entire scene and then shot that like half an hour later.
Oh, wow.
So that was the beautiful thing about having co-directors where like, he would be out like working with the puppet and all that and getting the next shot set up, and I'd be with our first AD Felipe Paraguasu, and I'd be like, okay, we need to change the order of these shots. We can't get this one first because of this and this, and just rescheduling the entire day between shots. So it was everyone was so busy, just.
That and also all the work that we took during like pre-production as well, like all the VFX aspects by Danny Mann and Tatum Stacy. Like basically that whole beginning sequence with the UFO kind of like going over to the cow abduction and everything. That was like months and months of
that's
like
just
prep.
a giant miniature. That
Yeah, it was a miniature.
Our VFX supervisor.
Yeah, that was months of work. Yeah, months of planning, and then like I think they just went out and got like moss from outside the building to like be grass, and they had to just build that pretty much all
The
themselves.
farm was Danny's like childhood farmhouse, or like it was some like dollhouse that she took, and Tatum, the other VFX supervisor, repainted and repurposed for that. So we got really creative with how we did everything.
It looked really good. Now, I was intrigued with Girk's captain's chair. I'm like, looks a little shiny over there with that foil.
Just whatever we can get our hands on. Yeah.
Very creative. Absolutely loved it. Okay, so is there anything that we didn't touch on about the film, about your experience at UNCSA so far, or anything else that you would like to share with everyone listening right now?
It's the worst thing we've ever done.
No way. I disagree 100%.
No.
Yeah,
I
also
think
disagree.
We're all really proud of how it came out, and it was a wonderful experience.
And I also think just like some of the collaborators that we've had on as well, like I said, Hefsburger's Club, we could not have made the film possible without them. Aperture Cinema helped out as well. They tried to help our film be like as eco-friendly. We're trying to have an eco-friendly set, so having it be eco-friendly with support from them really helped. And like I said, just everyone from the crew, like the VFX, like Danny Mann, Tatum Gray, excellent said Tatum Stacy, great Tatum Gray. The even post-production team, like our editor Jared Cook, like basically just sat down and worked on this for like nights and nights.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's all like a huge collaborative, kind of like a bunch of friends kind of coming together, and we wanted to kind of we had like a community behind this film on our campus, and we wanted to kind of like expand that community out to all of Winston.
Yeah, when we were pitching it, one of the big thesis behind it was we wanted to make a movie that's like when you're a kid and you get like little Legos and you make movies with your friends and stuff like that. We wanted it to feel like we're sitting our family down on the couch and having them watch this thing we made. Like you can see the strings and all that, but that to us that's like the purest form of filmmaking. And being able to get all of our friends, our extremely talented friends, to help work with us on the project, we can't say that like even me and Tristan were directing it. This could not have been any better. You know, we could not have had a better crew working on it. Ideas came from everywhere, and we're super happy with how it turned out.
Do you see yourselves maybe like 5 years from now taking Cow to like the big screen, like expanding on it, putting more money into it, and like really?
Yeah, Cow, I don't think Cow is ever gonna I don't think Cow's ever gonna end. I feel like we're always gonna be working on something Cow related. I feel like that's kind of the joke that I've had, is that like some people may be done like with the Cow short film, but it's like my job still as a producer still keeps going after it was done. So yeah, we'll be continuing working on Cow for sure.
That's awesome.
Congratulations to the team and everyone who was working on the project.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see more of your work. Can't wait. All right.
So it's cow.film.
Cow.film on Instagram.
Yeah, at cow.film on Instagram. That's our official Instagram page for Cow.
Everyone follow cow.film. Okay. Well, Peter, Tristan, Joe, thank you so much for being here, and for everyone listening, until next time. We know you enjoyed this podcast today, so join us for the next episode of Greater Conversations. By the way, you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. Also, be sure to visit our website at winstonsalem.com. The views and opinions stated in this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our sponsors, distributors, or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. or your toast.